What is up with it? Today we have E Quinby versus Kisota on blue Doflamingo versus purple Luffy. Looks like the purple Luffy won the rock, paper, scissors and chose to go first. Blue Doflamingo choosing to mulligan, ending with a hand of crocodile, buggy, Sengoku, Weevil, Boa, and then drawing into another Boa. Gonna go ahead and start with the Sengoku. And we are going to grab a Weevil. Yep. Going to go ahead and swing 5 with the Luffy, and I imagine almost always we're playing the Zoro. Sometimes we'll play a Kamazo or a Bonclay, but almost always the Zoro, especially because the Luffy kept. It means a lot of the times they will have the Zoro. Just going to go ahead and take the first swing as the Doflamingo. I would like to see the Teach come down here, or we could play the Boa. I'm okay with either one. Boa's fine just because it helps us dig for Jinbei. We've already seen 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 cards, I think. We've seen 14 cards. Or 13 cards, and then the Boa sees us another 3. So we've seen 17 cards, and then we'll play another Boa next turn. We'll take a hit here, most likely, I would imagine. Yeah, so we'll take a hit here. That puts us up to 18, and then we'll draw. That will be 19, and then when we play the other Boa, we'll have seen 22 cards, and when you've seen 22 cards, you're just gonna find the Jinbei. You're just gonna find the Jinbei. This is one of the most important things to keep in mind as Dofi, is just dig for Jinbei. All you have to do is just dig for Jinbei. If you play Jinbei, you win the game. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, we have these. Oh, this is an interesting. So because they're so low on cards in hand, we're saying like, and they gave us 2 1Ks. We swung 6 and they gave us 2 1Ks, which gives us a good idea that they have no 2Ks in hand. So we're just going to swing at the Zoro and say, hey, either give me 2 cards or give me the Zoro. Because if I swing 7 at life, you're just going to take. And if you're going to go ahead and counter out of this, I'm going to counter out of my entire board and then have fun when I swing 6 times next turn, right? So I like that 7 at the Zoro. Because if they want to give us 2 1Ks and go down to 2 cards in hand, like, have fun, bucko. Because I'm going to untap my entire board by countering aggressively because I've got 7 cards in hand. That said, it's not the worst thing in the world to lose a couple things on our board, which is going to happen almost always. I'm not exactly sure why they... Yeah, never mind. Of course, we're going to counter out of this. You kind of want the Gecko to reload for later, especially because we already have one on bottom, and some lists only, or a lot of lists only play 2. So here we have 8 Dawn. I wonder if there's a world where maybe we weren't supposed to play the Weevil last turn. I'd have to look at trash, but maybe we could have just played the Gecko, and then that way it would have set up, or maybe the Gecko was on top of the deck. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back. But if there was something we could have played other than the Weevil, it would have allowed us to be in this situation and just leader effect, which would have essentially saved us 2 Dawn. Which, of course, swinging 7 is pretty... Okay, so going to go ahead and counter. Going to go ahead and test a 5 again. And they counter again. So now they're down to 3 cards. When they're down to 3 cards, let's just take the Sangoro, right? Because if we take the Sangoro here, it's really going to cut off Luffy's resources in the long game. We can also now take this Luffy Taro. It feels pretty unlikely. They have double 2k. And what we're saying here is like, look, I can reload better than you can reload. If I swing at life here, you're going to take 3 things on my board, or minimum 2 things on my board this next turn. And you're just going to have these big bodies that are pressuring me and drawing you cards. And you're not even going to be that low on life because he's still on 3 life, right? Because we swung at the Zoro earlier. Because he countered so aggressively. Because he played the Big Mom. And I will say I get a lot of comments about different matchups, Purple Luffy, Shanks, of people who feel like they're struggling with those matchups. And they're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be taking board. The answer is almost always no. The answer is almost always no. Ignore the board. Ignore the board. It doesn't matter if they have 5-10 drops on board if they're dead, right? However, I do think there are spots, which is part of the reason why I wanted to go over this replay specifically. There are spots where you should be looking at the board, and you just have to be really conscious about it. Let me know if anyone really disagrees with any of the plays that have happened so far. To me personally, I think that taking the board has been pretty good so far. Honestly, we maybe should do it again. We could do it again. We could just take this Linlin right now. Or we can poke a couple 5s. Gonna go ahead and grab the Boa. Honestly, maybe there's a world where we were just supposed to take the Linlin, but I don't hate this either. We're gonna go 5 wide. The Gecko gets to grab us back at 2k. That's nice. And we also, he's going to take some of our board, and then we get to reload again with Jinbei, Gecko, Boa, right? Like, that's 4 bodies right there. So, definitely not bad stuff. Swinging 7, they're really thinking about this. I cannot imagine if they have Gum Gum, they're ever going to Gum Gum Giant here. Yeah. I feel like they thought about it. For sure, if you're a Poofy player, please don't Gum Gum there. It's not good. Thinking... kind of wondering what they're thinking about. I feel like most of the time their turn, they don't have too many options here. I wonder what they're thinking. Okay, so going for the Sanji, so they're going to try and take more board here. Which honestly, I think we're fine with. We're just going to reload the board. Oh, not even going for board. Going for life. Okay. So if we take this, and then they swing 8, and then they swing 9, 9, they can really put us down. Maybe we're just supposed to take... Maybe we're supposed to take that. But... Oh, I don't think we... Huh. I don't think we fully thought this through. I don't think we're supposed to be taking and countering the way we are. Yeah. I feel like this was really mismanaged. But ultimately, there's still 3 cards in hand. We are untapping with 4 bodies. Can just poke 5. They only have 3 cards in hand. They're representing Gum Gum, so doing these small little swings is super annoying for them. Go 6. Okay. Go 7. What are we looking to do here? What are we trying to accomplish? Go 7 again. Leader effect? I don't think I'm in love with this line. Like, if anything, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below. What you guys think would have been optimal on this turn and last turn. I think this was played really well, except for this turn and the opponent's turn. I think maybe there was a bit of we had too much and we got a little lost in it. I mean, yeah, I have to imagine we're gonna counter here. Just try and untap with as many bodies as possible. So now they're representing the Gum Gum. Interesting. Saying, hey, we don't need to go for game this turn. We're going to survive one more turn. But that doesn't even feel true. I feel like we can die a lot of the time this next turn. I think we should have gone for it. Maybe he doesn't have the Gum Gum. Okay, well, he added. So good thing we didn't go for it. And discarding the Yusahachi. Okay. Why did he even do that? He could have just taken and then blocked the 5 and then countered out of the 6. I'm not really sure. Gonna go ahead and swing the 6. They'll block 1k. Swing the 5. Okay, for whatever reason, just refuses to take that damage. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, you always have to go for game this turn anyways as the purple Luffy player. And we needed to top deck Sanji or Yusahachi, otherwise we never get there. And we top deck the Yusahachi. So we... Depends on the life. If they're 2Ks, then perhaps the Dofi can survive. Feels like it was a pretty fortunate top deck. But I also think pretty poorly played by the Dofi near the end, right? I feel like at the start we were doing some really good stuff. I mean, maybe someone in the comments can disagree with me about how they felt it went. So gonna go ahead and swing 8. And we did get a 2k, so we actually get to counter out of this because we are better than the opponent. Or luckier, however you want to view it. And at that point, it's just the concede button. Or they can swing at the board a few times. It doesn't matter. I have 3 swings. You have 1 blocker, 0 life. Like, yeah. So, honestly, the Dofi got a little lucky with that 2k. I guess you could have swapped the life as long as one of them was a 2k and the other one was a 1k. We were fine. I do think the one thing that, like, I think I like swinging at that Zoro. I like that we poked with those 5s and then took the board. However, I think it was this turn. Okay, so this turn, maybe we should take back this Lin Lin. Unsure about that. Or no, that's the turn we took the Luffy Taro. This turn, maybe we could take the Lin Lin. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if on this turn you guys think there was a better play. But the way we countered and took and everything, I'd like to hear in the comments. Specifically this turn. I think this turn we almost threw the game. Let me know what you guys would have liked to see. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.